going to tell you something before I explain anything else. Suddenly, everything is about to shift. And when it happens, you'll understand why this wait lasted exactly as long as it did. Not a day longer, not a day shorter. The person I am preparing for you isn't coming just to hold your hand. They're carrying the momentum that's going to break through everything that's been frozen in your life. This isn't about finding someone to fill a void. It's about the trigger I selected to release what's been pent up for years. The money that wouldn't flow. The calling that stayed asleep. The emotions you locked away because it hurt too much to touch them. All of that is about to move, and it will move the moment this union is confirmed. Stick with me until the end. Before we finish, you'll receive a simple protocol, the reception protocol, to position yourself for what's already on its way. And you'll discover the exact signs that this person is already being moved toward you, plus what can delay or speed up that meeting. This isn't about waiting a little longer. It's about recognizing that the silence you lived through had a purpose you couldn't see from where you stood. While you were reading another message that never got a reply, while you were accepting another invitation alone, while you were learning to do by yourself what you always imagined doing with someone else, I was already working in two directions at once. One inside you, another inside someone whose name you don't yet know. You've seen the couple from the building across the street walking hand in hand at night while you ate dinner alone by the window. You saw their fingers laced together, the easy way they walked side by side, the effortless laughter of people who don't have to try to be together, and you felt that specific emptiness that isn't jealousy. It's a question that hurts. Why isn't it my turn yet? You've done the nightly inventory before sleep, counted the years one by one, trying to figure out where things got stuck. Laying there, staring at the ceiling in the dark, phone dark beside you, and done the math again, even though you know the numbers never add up, even though you know counting changes nothing. And you counted anyway, because it was the only thing left to do with that silence nobody else saw. You've seen the wrong person show up at the right time. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part, you start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video. Felt that flicker of hope, that maybe this time it's different, that flutter in your stomach of someone wanting to believe again, and then watched it all fall apart the same way it always does. The same excuses, the same slow fade, the same silence on your phone. When you realized the mistake again, it wasn't anger you felt. It was a deeper exhaustion. The exhaustion of someone who doesn't know if they have the strength to believe one more time. You've typed, "I'm fine," with your hand shaking. Replied fast on autopilot because it was easier than explaining what you were really feeling that day. Hid the fatigue of waiting behind two short words, smiled in a selfie while you were falling apart inside, and nobody on the other side of the screen knew what it cost to type that. You've scrolled through your phone at midnight, watching couple after couple, anniversary after anniversary, and turned off the screen not knowing if what you felt was happiness for them or a pain you didn't want to admit still hurt that much. Closed the app, stared at the bedroom ceiling, and promised yourself you wouldn't open it at night anymore. And opened it again the next night because hope stubbornly stayed alive even when you didn't know how to feed it anymore. That's not weakness. That's not impatience. It's exhaustion from waiting without knowing if it's still worth believing. And still, you stayed on your feet, kept praying, kept living, kept taking care of yourself, even without the certainty that there was a reason for all of it. That has a name. That's not fragility. That's spiritual endurance. If what I've said so far has touched something in you, the like is your public amen. Heaven records what you confess openly. I have 3 things to tell you now, and all 3 are exact. First, the loneliness you lived through wasn't abandonment. It was the time when 2 people were being prepared at the same time, in different places, unaware of each other, but both being shaped for the same meeting at the same pace without either of them realizing it. Second, you will receive, still in this message, the concrete signs that this person is already being moved toward you. Not generic signs, not empty phrases to please you. Signs you've probably already felt in your skin, in your body, in your spirit, and didn't know how to name until today. Third, at the end of this message, you'll be able to declare that the wait has entered its final chapter. That this union isn't just coming to fill a heart-shaped hole. It's coming to unlock what's been stuck in every area of your life. I know how long you kept this wait silent without telling anyone how heavy it was. I counted every night. And I tell you now, not a single year was wasted. Not one. Share with me for a moment what these 3 promises mean together. They say you're not behind. They say the meeting doesn't depend on your effort to happen. And they say that when this meeting comes, it won't just bring a new face into your life. It will bring movement to everything that was stuck around you. From scarcity to provision. From loneliness to companionship. From stagnation to motion. From waiting to destiny. Close your eyes for a moment or look away from the screen for a second. Because what's coming now needs to enter without barriers, without distraction, without half attention. There are signs your spirit is already recognizing before your mind can process them. I'm going to show you 5. Each one carries a meaning different from what you've imagined until now, and the last one is the hardest to hear, because it's the one the enemy worked hardest to make you ignore. The first sign: recurring dreams of a face you can't quite remember when you wake up. Sometimes it's not even a face, just a feeling of presence, someone beside you. A companionship you feel even while sleeping. A hand that seems to hold yours in the middle of the night. You've woken up confused more than once, trying to understand why it felt so real. You probably called it a strange dream, something from your tired mind, just wishful thinking. But that's not it. It's your spirit recognizing someone before your mind has any ability to process who that person is. The second sign: a sudden pull toward new places. A neighborhood you never noticed before that now catches your attention every time you pass through. An environment, a city, a different route to work that suddenly sparks curiosity with no logical explanation. You called it a desire for change, boredom with routine, simple passing curiosity. But it's repositioning. It's heaven moving the pieces on the board so the meeting happens in the right place at the right time without you needing to force anything. The third sign: your heart quieting down about decisions that used to make you anxious. Choices that once stole your sleep, that made you toss and turn anticipating the worst, now pass through you with a calm you don't even understand yourself. You called it being more mature, learning to handle things better, simply being too tired to worry. But the truth runs deeper. Your soul is already sensing the arrival. And what's coming brings peace before it's even visible to your eyes. The fourth sign: people commenting that you look different without being able to explain why. A new brightness in your eyes, a lightness that wasn't there before, a calmer way of responding to things that used to upset you. You try to explain and can't, because it's not makeup, it's not new clothes, it's not even fake happiness for social media. It's the inner transformation already happening inside, now starting to show on the outside, even before you fully understand what's being formed within you. Notice these 4 signs together. A dream you didn't choose to have. A place you didn't choose to desire. A calm you didn't choose to feel. A brightness you didn't choose to show. None of these 4 came from your effort. All of them came from outside to inside, like receiving a message before knowing the sender. The next sign is the hardest to hear. It's the one the enemy spent the most time trying to make you ignore. The fifth sign, the urge to give up waiting, fading from one day to the next, without any effort on your part. You didn't go to therapy for this. You didn't take a self-help course, didn't read a book that fixed everything at once. Simply, one day, you realized the urgency to solve this on your own had diminished, that the anxiety of forcing a meeting had given way to a strange calm. The enemy will try to convince you this is complacency, that you stopped fighting, that you gave up on your dream. Lie. This isn't complacency. It's your soul settling down because, on the spiritual plane, the answer is already closer than your mind can calculate. If any of these signs have reached you, type "free" in the comments right now. You don't need to explain anything. Just type it. Close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath. What I'm about to tell you won't work if your attention is divided. There's an ancient story that carries exactly what you're living through. In the book of Genesis, chapter 24, a servant is sent by Abraham to find a wife for his son Isaac. Notice this. The servant was sent before Isaac even knew her name, before Isaac had seen her, before Isaac even imagined the answer was already on its way. Isaac didn't search. Isaac didn't hunt for a wife in the neighboring cities. Isaac was in mourning over his mother Sarah's death, and his house was stuck in the grief, frozen, without movement, without joy. Meanwhile, on the other side of the desert, the servant arrived at a well at evening, at the hour when women came out to draw water, and he asked for a very specific sign, that the right girl would be the one who, besides giving him water to drink, also offered water for his 10 camels, a gesture of generosity nobody would expect from a stranger. Rebecca did exactly that without knowing she was being tested, without knowing a man waited for her on the other side of the world, without knowing his name. She was just faithful to what was already in her character, and that quiet faithfulness was the sign that confirmed everything. And it was her arrival, crossing the desert with the servant, that comforted that grief and unlocked the entire house. The union didn't just come to give Isaac company. It came to move everything that was stuck around him. The joy that had dried up, the laughter that had left with his mother. Now think about a dam. The water held back doesn't flow because a single gate opens. It's only released when both gates move at the same time, one on each side, in a coordinated movement that neither part controls alone. Until that happens, the water stays there, contained, pressing against the walls, waiting, full of pent-up force nobody sees from the outside. Not because it's wrong, not because it's forgotten, but because the synchronized moment of both parts moving together hasn't arrived yet. An engineer who works on a dam knows something few stop to think about. The longer the water stays contained, the more force it accumulates for when it's released. The pressure that looks like stagnation is actually stored power. The river that will run after both gates open will be stronger than if it had run freely from the start. The time held back was never lost time. It was time of accumulation. What's stuck in your life right now is exactly that. It's the dammed water waiting for the second gate to open. And just as Rebecca arrived, unlocking Isaac's grief before he even knew her name, and just as the dam only releases when both parts move together, this union being prepared for you is not coincidence. It's the trigger that will shake and unlock everything that's been stagnant. The finances that wouldn't flow, the calling that was dormant inside you. The trapped emotions you held onto for too long, thinking nobody would notice. Notice that neither Isaac nor Rebecca had to chase each other. Isaac stayed in the field, praying at evening, while the answer approached over the horizon, on camels, closer with every step. Rebecca kept doing what she did every day, drawing water from the well, being faithful in the ordinary task, and it was right there, in the routine, that the answer found her. If you recognize yourself more in Isaac, waiting without knowing that things were already moving in your favor, type Isaac in the comments. If you recognize yourself more in Rebecca, being prepared in silence to arrive at the right moment in someone's life, type Rebecca. Write what makes the most sense for you right now without overthinking it. Let me pause for a full minute before continuing. You've recognized the physical and spiritual signs of preparation, one by one. Dreams, repositioning, quietness, visible transformation, the urge to give up fading without effort. You've seen that Isaac's wait ended suddenly, not gradually. The servant arrived, and within days the answer was there, before him, in the middle of the field, and you understood, hearing about the dam, that this union isn't luck. It's divine synchronization between two people who were being prepared at the same time, without either knowing about the other. I know the faithfulness you kept during this wait. I saw every time you could have let despair corrupt you and chose not to be corrupted. I saw every prayer made without immediate answer and yet repeated the next day with the same sincerity as the first. And now, before continuing, I want to tell you who you are within all of this. What you're about to hear is not a human title. It's what I call you when I speak to heaven about you. The first identity. You are the awaited one. One sentence, a done deal, no room for doubt. I saw the integrity you maintained during years of loneliness without letting despair corrupt you, without giving yourself to anything just to fill the void that ached on the longest nights. That authorizes me to say you can stop apologizing for still waiting. Nobody needs an explanation for your timing anymore. It was kept with honor, even when nobody was watching. In practice, this means you can stop lowering your head when someone asks why you're still single. You owe no explanation for a time I myself chose to hold. The second identity. You are the prepared one. I saw the inner work you did in silence, without an audience, without applause, without anyone knowing the effort it cost to become who you are today. The nights of healing nobody witnessed, the wounds closed with no surgeon but me. This authorizes you to stop hunting for answers and start positioning yourself to receive. It's no longer about chasing signs. It's about opening yourself to what's already coming your way. In practice, this means stop forcing encounters. Stop scrolling through apps until late at night. Stop trying to speed up with your own hands what's already moving by mind. The third identity. You are the unlocker. I saw that this union will release not only your life, but entire areas and people around you that depended on this connection to move. Whole families, callings that were waiting for this partnership to be born, finances that were held back waiting for this exact synchronization. This authorizes you to act today as someone who already knows the answer is on its way, preparing physical and emotional space for what I've already decided to give you. In practice, this means organize your life today as someone expecting a visitor, not as someone expecting another disappointment. Type in the comments the name of the identity you just received. The awaited one, the prepared one, or the unlocker. And if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, this is the right moment, because what comes next is the protocol that will help you position yourself to receive all of this. The name of this protocol is the Reception Protocol. It has 3 simple steps, and the sign that you're on the right track will never be euphoria. It will be quietness, a peace that settles in slowly and doesn't leave. First step, set aside a fixed time every day to pray specifically for the person being prepared for you. It can be 5 minutes before bed or 5 minutes as soon as you wake up. What matters is consistency, not duration. Don't ask for physical characteristics. Don't ask for height. Don't ask for profession. Don't ask for appearance. Ask for alignment. Ask that you both arrive ready at the right time without rushing the process already in motion. This time doesn't need to be long. It needs to be constant. Second step, write a letter of release for the past attachments that still take up emotional space inside you. That name that still hurts when it comes to memory. That person who left but left a space you haven't truly let go of. Write it on paper, with a pen, without rushing. Every single thing that still weighs on you. You don't need to send this letter to anyone. It's not for the other person. It's for you to release what's still stuck inside your chest. What still hurts when you remember what didn't work out. After writing, you can keep it burn it, or tear it up. Whatever makes sense to you. The act of writing is what sets it free. Third step, make a simple physical adjustment in your space. Clear a spot in the closet. Arrange a place at the table, one side of the bed, a space in your routine that signals you're expecting someone to arrive. It can be as simple as buying a second pillow, or leaving a spot open in the driveway, or just tidying up the house like someone expecting important company. This isn't naivety or fantasy. It's a concrete act of faith that the reception is near, a gesture that declares with the body what the mouth hasn't yet dared to say out loud. If you felt quietness, not euphoria, while hearing this, type "received" in the comments right now. In the next 72 hours, 3 things will be launched against you. Not as possibilities, as certainties. First, social pressure. It arrives disguised as family advice, a question asked with apparent care at a Sunday dinner table. Why are you still single? Why haven't you found someone yet? When are you going to bring someone to meet everybody? Maybe it comes from the aunt who asks every Christmas, or the coworker who comments without thinking. That question carries a weight that isn't yours to carry. Other people's hurry is not your clock, and their clock was never made to measure your time. Second, the temporary substitute. It arrives disguised as "this person is good enough." Someone will show up right when your patience is thinnest, offering immediate company, easy attention, a quick relief for loneliness, just to distract you before the arrival of who is truly being prepared for you. It will be someone attentive in the first weeks, someone who seems to solve everything that was missing, and that's exactly why it deceives. It won't arrive looking like a trap. It will arrive looking like relief. Third, the lying clock. It arrives disguised as comparison with friends who are already married, already have kids, already built what you haven't built yet. That wedding photo album that appears on your screen without you asking, that baby shower invitation that arrives right in the week you're most fragile. This voice whispers that you've missed your chance, that the train has already left without you. That's a lie. Spiritual time isn't measured by other people's calendars, and it was never meant to be. And there's still an internal enemy, quieter than the other 3. It's the voice that says, maybe you're not chosen for this, when the delay stretches beyond what you expected to endure. This voice usually shows up in the early morning hours when you're most tired, whispering that maybe it's safer to stop waiting than to keep being disappointed. It disguises itself as maturity, as realism, as mature acceptance of loneliness. But it's just fear dressed up as wisdom, trying to convince you to give up right at the finish line, exactly at the point closest to the answer. If you now receive protection against these 3 tactics and against this inner voice, type "protected" in the comments. The decree is sealed. Now place your hands open on your knees, palms up, like someone receiving. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply, slowly, 3 times in a row. There are burdens you've carried for too long, and now is the moment to release each one. The hurry that made you believe you were behind, even when you weren't. The comparison with those who already married, as if their time had to be exactly your time. The disappointment of past attempts. The wrong people who showed up at the right time and left you more tired than before you tried again. The fear that maybe you have some hidden flaw that prevents love from arriving. Release that now, in silence, with open palms, holding none of that in your hands anymore. I saw you looking out the window while the couple from the building across the street walked hand in hand, laughing quietly at something only they understood. I saw the emptiness of that moment, your plate going cold on the table while you watched. And I want you to know I was not absent that night. I was preparing someone at that exact moment to walk beside you the same way, with the same interlocked hands you saw through the window. I saw your hand shaking while you typed, "I'm fine," to hide the exhaustion of still waiting. I read what was behind those 2 words, the weight they carried, how much it cost to hit send. I know you weren't fine, and still, I saw your faith choosing to continue, even when your hand trembled, even when no one on the other side knew what it cost. Every night of inventory, every calculation made in the dark before sleep, every year counted with a lump in your throat while the ceiling stayed there, silent, staring back at you. I saw all of it, and none of those moments were wasted. They were the exact time I was aligning two lives for a single meeting, adjusting the clock of each until the hands reached the same hour. I saw every time the wrong person arrived at the right time, and I saw your courage to recognize the mistake instead of settling for it just to avoid being alone. That wasn't failure. That was discernment being sharpened, being trained, so that when the right person arrived, you would already know how to recognize the difference with clarity, without hesitation. Now I cover your mind against comparison. I cover your relationships against the temporary substitute. I cover your time against the lying clock that tries to rush you before the right moment. I cover your finances, which will move together with this union. I cover the calling that was dormant and now begins to awaken. And I cover this area of your life, the union that is coming, against anything that tries to delay what I have already decided to release over you. I send you now back to your routine, but you don't go back the same way you were before hearing this. You go back as someone who already knows the second gate is about to open and that the damned water will finally flow. Say it out loud now, before writing anything in the comments. I receive what is already on its way. My wait was not in vain. Type "done" in the comments to seal this word in your life. If there's someone you know who is waiting for this exact same word, a specific person, not just any group, a name that already came to your mind while you heard this, send this video to them right now. They might be at the same window, watching the same kind of couple walk hand in hand, without knowing that their answer is also already on its way, as close as yours. And if that person wants to go beyond what was said here, to deepen this process of preparation even further, the link is in the first comment, waiting the same way it waited for you until now. In the next video, I'm going to show you what to do when the signs start confirming themselves one by one, and how to recognize, without any doubt, when the right person is finally standing before you, looking back. Keep this word in your heart for the days when doubt tries to return. Keep the name of the identity you received today. Keep the memory that the wait was never empty, even on the days it seemed like it was. And when the meeting finally happens, remember, it doesn't come just to give you company. It comes to shake and unlock everything that was stuck. It is done. You are not the same person you were when this message began. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part, you start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video.